Hello friends, welcome you all in Seva Samajik Vikas Sanstha Satara. Today we are going to discuss the second part of coherent paragraph. In last video we had discussed the type of question. Here five statements will be given to you which are labeled as A, B, C, D, E, and you have to find out which option which is not suit or which is not fit into the theme of the paragraph or with the theme of the other statements. Now let's see the next example here on the screen. Here A, B, C, D, E. These options you are able to see. Now we will read this. The channel, because of running foreign content, means Indian content, became very popular and received highest viewership rating across the country. Shah passed the interim order on a petition filed by Leo Communication challenging ban on airing Indian content on the cable television network. The report stated that television channels should be allowed to run Indian films as per clause 7.2 of the license, establish and operate satellite TV broadcast channels session. Lahore High Court Chief Justice Said Mansoor Ali Shah on Monday granted the permission to private television channel in the light of report put by the Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority, means PEMRA, before the court. The Pakistani court has allowed private television channels having valid license to show Indian films as per their terms of agreement with the country's regulatory authority. Now, after reading all these four statements, what you are able to get here B, C, D, E. All these parts are logically in order, and your logical order can be like that. Means this E statement can be first, then this D, then B, and then C. So you are able to get a proper passage or paragraph. Okay. Only option A is the option which is not related to other paragraph, because in this A option means this statement is different from the other, because all four statements talk about the removal of ban, and only option A is not talking anything about this removal of the ban on Indian films. So option A is the answer here. Now see the next example. Let's read the options. It clears the deck for the incumbent O panel, sorry, panel selvum to be in order. It clears the deck for the incumbent O panel selvum to be in order. Then second statement. Here, Attorney General Mukul Roha, Rohadgi gave opinion to Tamil Nadu Governor Rao on Monday, advising him to hold the floor test within a week, citing the Supreme Court judgment. Next option, the ruling bars Sashikala from becoming the new Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, as she cannot contest election for 10 years. The Supreme Court on Tuesday upheld the trial court order and found IAADMK, this is the name of the party, General Secretary, General Secretary VK Sashikala guilty in an over 20 years old disproportionate assets case and for sentence her to 4 years of imprisonment. The court also directed Sashikala to surrender immediately. So here, immediately in this CDE statement, you are able to see the reference of Sashikala. Now just think about statement A and B. In statement A, it is stated it clears the deck for incumbent or means it is a name is given Panersalam to be in power. So all these A, C, D, and E, all these statements are related except the B1 because statement B represent the advice given by the Attorney General to the Governor of Tamil Nadu in this B statement, whereas all other sentences of this passage are talking about the verdict passed by Supreme Court and its consequences on these personalities, that is Panar. Okay, so answer is B. Next example. At a time when there was compelling need for a bold and path-breaking budget to bring relief to tens of millions of people adversely affected by demonetization, yet another area where it was relatively easy to provide relief was in increasing the allocation for providing pensions to elderly people from weaker section including widows and disabled people. The Indian government has came up with an ordinary business as usual budget which fails to meet expectations of the people and the needs of the economy in very crucial time. Even after the presentation of the budget, this light is not visible. The people have been repeatedly assured of the light at the end of the tunnel, but they have failed to see it after the much publicized 50 days. So here, option E, D, C, and A. These statements are about the budget and option B is not a part of this coherent passage. As in this paragraph, author is trying or sharing his view regarding the budget presentation and the people affected by demonetization. But option B is giving the information about the location to the weaker section. And therefore, option B is not going with the remaining options. Our answer is B. Now let's see the another example. The reference in union budget to new elimination target for some major communicable diseases barely hints at the enormous burden carried by millions in India with tuberculosis, kala, then kala azar, then next means name of the diseases are given here, filariasis, leprosy, and measles. It would appear incon- incongruous that an emerging economy with no timetable for universal health coverage and a lack of political will to loosen its purse string for higher government expenditure has set ambitious deadlines to rid itself of deadly scourges. The permission of a well-funded 5 year scheme to meet the TB challenge beginning in 2017 is welcome. Although steady progress towards the new eliminations deadline of 2025 will also depend on improved capability in the health system to meet the daily drug requirement and a feeling of ownership at the state level. If people medical if good medical protocol is pursued, pockets of filariasis in many states can be removed. Having state concrete goal, the state must now demonstrate its seriousness by moving away from the flawed policies of the past. Flawed policies means the faulty or full with mistakes, such policies of the past. So all these other statements. So these statements are related except option D because it is not a part of this paragraph. In other sentences, we are getting information about the union budget for curing the diseases like tuberculosis and cholera, leprosy, and so on. And only option D is a different here, which give information about only regarding paralysis in a particular. So option D is the answer here. Next example, the killing of seven policemen in a landmine blast has tragically, tragically buttressed their resolve to boycott the local election in absence of development and grading poverty in a predominantly rural state. Juggling where alphabets such as GDP means little or nothing in the rural Odisha in terms of opening of a bank branches, the unbanked Gram Panchayat, or even improvement in the quality of the life of the scheduled castes and tribes. A fortnight before the Panchayat election in Odisha, the Moises are engaged in moral muscle flexing if last Wednesday or outrage on the state's border with Andhra Pradesh is an index to go by. A cruel irony when one reflects that Odisha has played commendably in terms of industrial investment. This is the crux of the issue. It is a public policy and development and not ideology that predominates over the current policy philosophy of the left radical as well as the reluctant revolutionaries of the Communist Party of India. So now in this example, if you will see all these other statements of the paragraph tells us about the issue of voices and your role in the violence and disruption. And option B is also the part of this article, but it explains how Odisha is a fertile ground for extremists to strike, and that's why it is not going with the argument which is explained in the remaining paragraph. So option D is the answer here. So friends, what you are able to get from all these examples, that we have to read all these examples first, then we have to find out what is the core concept of all this statement, and then you are able to understand which statement is not part of this paragraph. So thank you for being with me and have a good day to everyone.